Blaze would skin me alive if I fucked with that. Welcome to Something Feral, the podcast where three friends watch, eat, and talk trash. We're your hosts. I'm Kate.
I'm Brianna.
I'm Country Blaze.
Yeehaw, cowgirl.
Yeehaw.
Brianna, there's so many chick songs that you actually do know, and I can't wait to play them all for you.
I was really more of a Shania person. Like, if there was any bit of country that I was going to listen to.
The pop country crossover.
Yeah. I mean, when she came out with the album that had, like, the red side.
Man, I Feel Like a Woman. Oh, and then Up. Up was the one with the red and green.
Can only go up from here. Up.
Well, she had, like, the pop version of that album and then the country version of that
Yeah, it was
album.
like yellow, right? Or green?
Red and green.
But which one was which? Was red pop? That feels right. Green was country.
I thought there was 4 colors. I don't know why I remember it being yellow because I listened to her CD when my hamsters committed suicide in the sump pump.
I need that playlist because you have also like shared some of the other songs from it. And this is a journey. What was it? Avril Lavigne, Damn Cold Night, I believe?
No, it's the one about virginity.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. And I didn't know at the time. I was in 7th grade.
What was that one? Don't Tell Me. That's what it's called.
Don't tell me. That's it. Yeah. That was a time.
Okay, it's red, green, and blue. So red was the pop version, green was the country version, and blue was Indian film music version.
Okay, so I completely made up the yellow one that I
You just fused a few of the colors.
got fused in my brain. I was in 7th grade, very depressed little girl who lost both of her hamsters to drowning.
I'm so sorry that your hamsters chose to end their lives in the sump pump rather than stay in your cage. They're gross pets. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. They're just so gross.
They bite too.
Well, they're nocturnal.
Ew. I mean, not the nocturnal part. Just, yeah, like a rodent. Like a lot of rodents are.
I don't know
gross.
when they died, but it wasn't pretty.
Anyway, I have a correction to issue. You know, and I should have caught this during the editing process, but I actually was listening today and was like, oh, no, that's wrong. Like, immediately. So I said that JFK signed into law the Americans with Disabilities Act, which is not accurate. That was signed into law many, many, many years later. But I was thinking of, first of all, the president's panel on intellectual disabilities, which he established. It was called something different at the time, using language I won't be using. And also the legislation that I was truly thinking of was the Maternal and Child Health and Intellectual Disabilities Planning Amendment to the Social Security Act, which followed up with the establishment of the panel. And obviously he put all of this at like the forefront of his presidency and like the top of his list of priorities because of his sister Eunice Shriver and her like advocacy. But anyway, I just wanted to clear that up because as soon as I heard it, I was like, that's not right. That's not right. And it's out there. So
You're fired up. We didn't want to go to the farm.
I was fired up. You know, I was right in some levels in that, you know, traditionally the Kennedy family did not approach mental health appropriately and seems, judging by the most vocal member of the family out there now, that tradition has continued. So that is my correction. I also have listener feedback from our in-house medical counsel, Dr. Panda, on the long-haired girl definition.
Again.
Yes.
She's fired up.
She is fired up. The doctor has a lot to say. Here we go. Should have clarified that it wasn't a formal complaint, but rather an explanation of a diagnosis. Formal criteria for a diagnosis of LHG was not met. And I said, LOL. And then she said, but I meet the diagnostic for Narc by reporting to a podcast twice with my complaint.
3 times now.
Yeah, I guess this is thrice. You know, she is and has been a narc always. And that's not me being a mean older sister. That is something that she would say on this pod as well. She just has very narc energy. Younger siblings typically do.
Was she the reason you got caught pretending to be an American Girl doll?
What?
No, by that point we were close. Like she would have covered for me if she was home.
Got it.
I'm sorry. I need more information on what are you talking about?
It was like senior year or something. And my parents weren't home, but my mom was like really strict with me at that time and demanded that I be home really early, and I didn't want to be.
We were all out together.
Yeah, I came home, stuffed my bed, put my like American Girl doll, so it looked like her hair was like me, but it didn't really look good enough.
Obviously not. Your dad saw right through that.
Yeah, my dad, with his lifelong career in a field that is meant to identify deceit, yeah, he saw through my putting a doll in my bed as a senior in high school, believe it or not.
Crazy. I thought that you meant that you were pretending to be a doll.
That was the way I phrased it.
Yeah.
I do apologize.
So
That's way darker.
I was very confused.
Like, remember when you were just like going through that phase where you were pretending to be a doll when we were all friends? Like,
And then you said senior, and I'm like, why?
was she okay? And
Honestly,
I didn't
we
remember.
had a lot of friends go through weird phases in high school. So, like, that's not completely unrealistic.
It is completely unrealistic. That's crazy.
To be a doll, yes.
Yeah, to be a doll.
I mean, one was pretending to be an alcoholic.
I mean, I would like to be a Barbie still, but, that's not what we're talking about. Anyway, now that we have all that housekeeping out of the way, I know politics and my sister's a narc.
Do we want to jump, or I guess I always say this, do we want to jump into our next segment? And then Kate always goes, yeah, let's jump into trash and treasure. So I'm going to just skip that whole conversation, just jump into feral behavior.
Go ahead.
So it'll be me talking about another feral behavior of mine, which is no surprise. And today we're going to dive into why and how I decided to become a mama.
A boy mom.
So we'll start really from the beginning. So I am not a maternal person per se. We talked about this, I think, earlier on one of the episodes. I was the youngest in my family. I didn't have any siblings. I didn't babysit as a kid.
You were never like around kids.
No, I was never around children. And as an adult, I never liked to be around children. It wasn't like, oh, I never got this. Like, oh my God, baby. No. Children have always just made me deeply uncomfortable.
That's so funny.
I just don't know how to relate to them. I mean, remember, do you have any friends?
Yeah, it's so funny though, because I just feel like I don't want to sound like, again, like the weird Christian energy. Like, I don't know. But like, I think the opposite. I feel like they're the easiest to get along because they don't have like, they're not affected by a lot of like the stuff that adults are affected by in society. Like, they're just like honest and like silly,
I have a hard time talking to them not like an adult. Like, I talk to them like I would talk to an adult, and you can't really do that.
Also, just like holding someone's like child, I'm like, is this right? Am I doing this correctly?
Right,
Like,
I'm just gonna give out.
I think you'd know if it's wrong.
I mean, now I do. But like, I don't know. I was never somebody that did well around kids. So before Dale and I got married, I like sat him down and I was like, look, realistically, I don't think I want children. It was just never something that I was excited about. It was just not something that was like on my checklist of life.
I feel like you were always treated like a little adult in a way too.
Yeah.
Again, like the not being around kids, being an only child, like your parents weren't like eager to do a lot of kid stuff, I feel like, either.
She grew up in a museum.
Yeah, not a kid-friendly house.
Not a kid-friendly house, no. So I sat Dale down and I was like, look, I just don't know if I want kids. And I said to him, I was like, look, I'm not like hardline no kids ever. Realistically, and I said, I might change my mind. I just don't know. But right now, I'm not trending in that direction, and I don't know if that will change. So we had that conversation, and he loved me so much because I, again, married someone who was obsessed with me. And he was like, that's fine. I'm good with that. And we did a lot of traveling early in our marriage. And eventually Dale was like, this is great. Like, I don't want the expense of a child. Sign me up. So, and I felt that way for a long time. And on one of our trips to Europe, we visited Amsterdam. And of course, in Amsterdam, marijuana is legal. So what we ended up doing is Dale's not a partaker in drugs.
Drugs.
Yeah, drugs, right, quote unquote. Dale barely even drinks. Dale's like kind of a square.
Teetotaler?
Yeah.
A what?
A teetotaler?
What is that?
It's like someone who doesn't drink or do. It's like an old-timey expression.
Okay.
I don't even know if I'm saying it right. I've mostly like read it. It's not like a term you hear anymore. Again, it's like how they describe like pilgrims, I feel like.
So we had decided, and also like the rules in Amsterdam are a little bit like you can smoke on the street, but you also can't like be caught with too much in your possession. Like, it is kind of odd.
That's like when it was like medical laws here in Michigan. Like, you couldn't have too much because it's like you're dealing.
Yeah. So we decided as part of our trip to Amsterdam, we were going to take like a guided tour of like, I don't know if they call them they call them like cafes. And so we did like a guided tour to like not only just get stoned, but also to learn a bit more about like how it works in Amsterdam, because Amsterdam has been legal for a long time.
We just want to learn about how it works. Like, I just read Playboy for the articles.
Yeah, exactly. So we go on this tour. It was really great. It was just really educational and really fun. And like we got to go cafe to cafe, and like they were laughing because in Amsterdam, like when you roll a joint, they don't just like smoke joints full of weed. Like they mix it with tobacco or
A spliff.
chamomile. which is another one, which I thought was really interesting.
Oh.
But one of the things that we did is in one of the Ocean's movies, I don't remember which one it is, they go to like this cafe in Amsterdam and they get a space cake.
Oh, I've heard of those. Those fuck people up bad. I've heard a lot of funny stories.
So Dale and I decided that like we smoked like a little bit on the tour, but we weren't like, you know, getting out of our minds. But we did decide we were going to purchase a space cake and we were going to split a space cake. So we split the space cake. Splitting was a poor decision because Dale and I have a very different size
Tolerance.
and tolerance.
Yeah.
And it hit me way faster than it did Dale.
How much weed is in a space cake, too?
I could not tell you how many milligrams was in this at the time because like I really didn't understand.
I don't think anyone knows. It's a lot, though.
It was probably at least 100 milligrams.
Yeah. It's
so
a
you
lot.
you just had like 50 milligrams of weed after smoking a joint?
A few joints, yeah.
Oh.
So we split the space cake and we start walking through Amsterdam and it's starting to hit me. And so Dale is trying to navigate us back to the hotel because like I'm way too stoned to be out in public.
Directions were off the table.
It was rough.
That sounds like a nightmare. My nightmare.
I was having a fucking blast.
Well, yeah, you were the passenger princess. You didn't have to do
I was
any
the
work.
passenger princess. So one of the way to get back to our hotel, there was like a scenic route we could take and it wouldn't take too much time. There's this beautiful park in Amsterdam. It's very large. And so we're like, oh, we'll walk through this park to get back. And first of all, I am so stoned that I'm like, this is Narnia. This is the most beautiful place I've ever been. Like,
I mean, it probably was.
it was gorgeous. It really was stunning. And we're walking through. We got a hot dog as we're walking through. And at some point, there was must have been, I don't think it was an infant, but like a baby that was in this park. With a family. It wasn't just like this random baby.
A singular baby in the grass.
And my body, when I was on a space cake from Amsterdam, saw this baby. And when I tell you something physically snapped inside of my body.
It's the hysteria. It's your uterus roaming around.
My biological engineering kicked in.
Must have been a cute baby.
This was not a cute baby. And you know I'm honest.
Yeah, that's true.
It wasn't an ugly baby, but it was just like a very mediocre baby. Middle of the road.
A mid baby.
A mid baby. Yeah. Yeah. Thank God it wasn't some like gorgeous baby. Then I would have just like, you know.
Take me now, Dale.
Dale, we're in the park. Let's do it. So I see this baby and I don't think I said anything in the moment, but like all of a sudden, like the Target baby aisle was looking like real appealing. And like I was like seeing babies on the street everywhere and like pregnancy stuff everywhere. And I was just like, is this what this is supposed to feel like?
It's time.
It's time. And so I was like, Dale, I think I've changed my mind. I think this is something that I want.
Do you say this to him on the space cake?
I don't think so.
Oh, this was after the post space cake.
Well, Dale, he got us back to the hotel and Dale took a turn for the worst.
Oh no.
I was gonna say, that's a lot for him.
Dale like does not partake in that type of stuff. Like even now he'll take like 5 milligrams and just falls asleep.
If I took that, I would be in the hospital. Inconsolable.
Oh yeah, that's so much weed.
Yeah. So we get back to the hotel and it's still like kind of the middle of the day, just to be clear. We close the blinds, we put on the bathrobes, we order room service, and we just watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine in Dutch for like hours. Dale turned like gray, like all the life force drained out of Dale. So I sat Dale down and I was like, hey, I think this is something that I might want, blah, 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 blah. And Dale was like, I'm really liking the life we have. And so I was like, what do you mean, Dale? Like,
You wanted a whole gaggle.
yeah, I was like, Dale, like you wanted multiple children. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I never said he gaslit you.
Dale gaslit me. So we did like eventually about a year later, I got pregnant with Gillian, but we didn't like immediately get to business.
Oh, not post space cake.
In the park.
When Dale was gray and you were watching reruns of the Dutch Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
This is Dale on the space cake.
Oh my God, he looks like a dead body. That looks like a dead person. Like, I'm not even like, oh my God. That's a really jarring photo. Yeah.
And you were like, let's have a baby.
You're like, I want this.
Hey, corpse, let's have a baby.
Does it still work when you're dead?
Right. I mean, we were so stoned. And so the next morning, we had a tour of the windmills.
Ooh, that's when you should have been on the space cake.
Well, we were at the windmills and I mean, it was just gorgeous and so incredible. And you're like, oh my God, like Holland, right? We have a video and we didn't realize this until after the fact. There's a video that we recorded of just grass moving. because it was just so beautiful. And we're like, oh, we were fucking stoned.
Still.
So we were still stoned the next day.
You were just finally an appropriate amount.
Correct. And we didn't realize it until we were actually sober. And like we looked back and we're like, oh,
Oopsie.
whoops. So yeah, we were still quite stoned by the time the next day rolled around.
Yeah, I've heard great things about those space cakes.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know it was possible to go to bed stoned and wake up
Woof.
stoned.
Yeah, Dale was in rough shape. And as an extension to the story, about a week later, we got home and Dale was not feeling well. And he said his chest was kind of bothering him. And I was like, okay, pussy, like you're fine. What do you mean?
Was he stoned when this happened?
No. This was like about a week after we got back from Amsterdam. And he called his primary care doctor like, hey, you're just old enough for this to be like, if you have chest pain, you need to go to the ER. But I was like, oh, like, okay, let's go to the ER. And I was just kind of being a brat about it. Well, we get to the ER and they're basically like, you're an AFib. So his heart was beating out of like, it was an irregular heartbeat.
He thinks it was the weed.
Well, no, he didn't. But they were like, sir, have you taken any like drugs? And he's like, well, about a week ago, we were in Amsterdam and I had a space cake and they were like, sir, real drugs.
That's awesome.
Fess up, pussy. What about the real job?
They're like, no, you fucking nerd.
He's like, I took marijuana a week ago. Do you think I took marijuana?
Oh, poor Dale.
Yeah. So Dale, they couldn't find a medical reason for the AFib. Sometimes it just happens, but they did actually have to shock his heart back into rhythm.
Oh, wild.
And they gave him what they called, and I'm telling you, the doctor said they gave him the Michael Jackson cocktail.
What is that?
Real drugs.
Yeah, real drugs that they give you, like it's like anesthesia, but it's really fast. So like they give you, it like knocks you out for like 15 minutes and then you're back.
Oh, so they fully knocked him out for that. I guess,
They
yeah,
fully
that
knocked
makes
him out
sense.
for the shock. But they told me they're like, oh, it's going to be about 15, 20, 30 minutes. Like, and then we'll come back and get you and he'll be fine. 45 minutes goes by and I'm like, I am a young widow. I am going to have to find a new husband.
You're like, it's because he took that space cake in Amsterdam.
He took that space cake, or I don't know, like we're done. Like I have a dead husband.
And no baby.
And no baby.
Yeah. That's a tough road to hoe.
They come and get me. And it was because the reason it took so long is they had to give him 2 of the cocktail because he wouldn't go down.
Oh.
Like an animal.
No, or like gingers. Like gingers need extra anesthesia.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like they had to give him 2 of the Michael Jackson special.
Yikes.
Bottoms up.
Bottoms up is right. So he's fine. He has not had AFib since, but I always love telling that story because 1, it embarrasses the hell out of him. And 2, when they were like, sir, real drugs. Yeah. And Gillian was born.
I mean, you know how much I love Gillian.
I know.
Nice, sweet boy.
He made me a boy mama.
I
Ugh.
hate that, but I love him.
And again, I
Big
had
fan
a
of Gillian.
very cute baby. By sheer luck.
No, I'm telling you, it's karma for all the horrible animals you've rescued.
She lives with Pippa. Like she served her time.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like, again, you were just looking at karma through such a narrow lens. You were like, oh, I make fun of all these babies, but like you have brought back to life and nurtured some of nature's grossest critters.
And
so.
I still don't feel very maternal, and I still don't like children. I want to be clear about that. Like, I like my child, but I really still feel uncomfortable talking to other children. I'm more comfortable now than I was before, especially babies. I could take a baby, but don't give me like a sweaty 7-year-old.
Sweaty.
Why sweaty?
I feel like that age of boys are always just like gross
Oh.
and smelly and sweaty from all the things they get around to.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. Like my brother's room growing up, I had a younger brother, and his room always just had like a scent that like my room never had. Like,
They're
it's
just
a boy.
like boys.
Yeah, just a boy scent. And it's not good or bad. It's just there.
No, and it's like, I don't want to be too, like, gender is a social construct, I believe, but like, there is something about boys that is just like gross when they're that age. That age, like middle school. I mean, everyone's a little gross
They're
in middle
just
school, but
stinky.
like middle
It's
school
okay.
boys
They
are
just
like a unique type of gross.
Boys are, again, gender is a construct, but I do find that having a boy has its unique traits, and it's also really weird talking to other parents that have little boys. I have a theory, and I think it's because women see themselves in their daughters. But I think when they see boys, they don't see that. They don't see themselves at all, or as much, at least.
But isn't that only like a problem if you hate yourself?
Yeah, but I mean...
Like, if you like yourself, like, isn't that like cool?
Yeah, but have you ever... Or I think in general, parents that are obsessed with their children, And I mean obsessed with their children, not like love their child and like care for their child and like put in the effort to be a solid parent. I'm talking about like
An unhealthy obsession.
I think that there's a lot of people that are obsessed with their children, and specifically mothers that are obsessed with their sons. There is, I think, a big insecurity there.
Say more.
I don't know. I really don't know because I don't feel it.
You're like, couldn't be me.
Couldn't be me. I also have to imagine that mothers that are obsessed with their sons don't have a great relationship with their
Other women
or their spouses.
Oh, yeah.
So they like latch on
They
to the boy.
latch on to the boy. Yeah.
It's like if your husband doesn't respect you or value you, you can like force your little boy to. And then you have like validation from men that you've like made.
Correct.
Ooh, that's dark.
Who's the doctor now?
Yeah, unlicensed, unregistered, very insightful.
Hot takes.
I didn't see any lies. I mean, I'm not a parent, but
You know, and like the other side of that too is, again, generally, it's the same thing with like daddies and daughters. There's like that weird daddy-daughter situation.
there can be, or there you can opt out. Just don't do it.
Yeah, but there's something about that like swapped gender thing that I think really does play into the relationship between the partners.
It's like you idolize that person because like you can't like compare yourself, right? Because that wouldn't make sense. But you can idolize that person.
Yeah, and
Subjectively.
I think that like a lot of that like boy mom and like girl dad is very much also like very representative like the patriarchy, right?
Yeah.
And that's another thing I do want to point out. Like, boy moms get villainized and girl dads are like, oh my God, what a girl dad.
Oh, no, I think both are very icky.
Yeah, agreed.
And usually it's like girl dad's doing like the absolute bare minimum. It's like, what a girl dad. It's like he fed his kid. Like,
or he like played dress up with his daughter.
Yeah.
As a parent should. And so I think that there's very much this gender role piece that also plays in. And I think there is a very big piece of a parent relationship that feeds, or the relationship of the parents that feeds into like how the parents treat their children.
I agree. And I think you're right about the patriarchy piece too, because like it's rare that you see like, again, the girl dad thing is a really good example. Like the don't touch my little girl, like you better not hurt my little girl.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you clearly don't see this person's like having agency. You see them as like a thing of yours. You know, it's very
and
like,
again, one of the boy mom tropes is like, oh, like I'm going to be the worst mother-in-law.
yeah, which I think is so gross. Like it's the same thing
Or like
though.
I'm going to be the like father-in-law that makes sure, you know,
cleaning my gun when this boy comes over. And it's like, oh.
yeah,
So
there's
weird.
there's a lot I think that plays into, again, circling back to kind of the boy mom thing, but I think there's in general there's a lot of really fucked up historical reasons we have these stereotypes today, like boy mom and like girl dad. And the reality is as a parent, like kids are kids and you should love your child
Like equally and
regardless of their gender or your like, I don't know. I just think there's like a lot of really weird emphasis. A lot of weird emphasis on gendered stereotypes within parenting.
Yeah, I agree.
You should pick a favorite child based on their behavior and if you like their personality, not because of their gender.
Right, exactly.
Like you can not like your kids. That's fine. Not
No,
everybody
what?
not everybody likes, like you can still love your child and not necessarily like them.
yeah, that's fair. When they're like 14, you might not want to hang out with them all the time.
Right. You can love your
that
child.
Makes sense.
You know? And sometimes you just maybe not like them.
I don't know.
Brian Landry, great example.
Oh, wow. Good segue. Trash.
Trash. The letter from his mom recently got published.
Okay, wait. I don't know what you're talking about. So,
We need to give some backstory on this
yeah,
one.
is this official Trash and Treasure?
Yes, we can transition to Trash and Treasure.
Okay, take us away.
So recently, Gabby Petito was a missing person and her boyfriend was basically they got into like a huge domestic argument. They were traveling alone in a van. They were very young and he murdered her over nothing really. And then he went missing himself and then killed himself.
In a swamp.
But there was a lot of press and publicity surrounding his parents and like their protection of him.
Because these people are YouTubers. That's why they had like a following, right? Like that's why this
Correct.
case was big. They were vlogging their whole like
They
van
were
life.
vlogging their van life. Yep.
So there was a lot of footage, but I don't think that she was like a huge YouTuber at the time.
No. But I think people followed them.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, again, like, missing white women get more attention, plus all that footage, like, of them both, like, footage of
Yeah.
him, too, so, like, people could, like, pick that apart and stuff.
Well, they had also just had a run-in with the police for arguing.
Yeah, there's like body cam footage of that.
Yeah, there's body cam footage. But there's a letter a letter that was written to Brian Landry from his mother, and it says burn after reading. And there's just some really like intense statements in this letter. The mother claims that she wrote this like before they went on their trip. It's like before they went on the van, like before they left, that's when she wrote the letter. But there's been a lot of speculation that it was like
when he was missing.
Possibly, because like there's a line where it's like, if you were to kill somebody, like I'd help you hide the body.
I think I found it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it should be all over. Yeah.
You do a dramatic reading.
It's rough.
Is it long?
Yeah, this is obvious. Yeah, also really quick, like, if someone says burn after reading and they are a suspect in a murder investigation and the only suspect and the evidence is pointing only to them, you can assume that it probably was written after the murder. Given the language that I'm seeing here.
The language is really spooky.
You should read it. Do a live reading.
Yeah. Okay. I feel a little weird only because like I don't want to make light of like what happened to Gabby Petito and like domestic violence, but I do also find boy momminess icky.
This is the epitome of boy momminess. It's almost worse if she like from a boy mom perspective, if she did write that before Gabby went missing.
She just wrote it like on a Tuesday.
Yeah,
absolutely. But also like I started watching the documentary like today. And like, okay, there are different red flags and there are different signs. You can't just like assume that people's like weird moms are the reason like that they might be violent. But she moves in with his family again, very young. And the mom is like very jealous of her and the time she's spending with Brian, which is like very gross.
It's very standard boy mama shit. Yeah.
Oh, it's so ew.
I dated a guy with a mommy like that. Ew. It's so real.
So the mom was like really jealous, which is gross because like they were adults, like they were young, but they were adults.
It doesn't matter how old they are. It's still weird.
No, being jealous is gross, but it wasn't like, oh, it's taken away from his schoolwork. And
but that's not jealousy. That's just like parenting.
Right. That's just responsible parenting.
Responsible
not jealousy.
Parenting is like, hey, maybe you shouldn't be spending all your time.
Right. Like you have to do your homework.
Right. Or you're like 12 and she's 17. You know what I mean? Like, you know, this is not protective parenting.
Right. Exactly. And like, I also want to say there's some wonderful boy moms out there. Like I realize I sound like such a hater. No. Like you're an amazing mom. Like so many people are amazing parents of boys. Like
we're not saying that like just because you have a child of the opposite sex, you are creepy. We are just pointing out the creepy ones.
Yeah. And it's too common. Like the reason we're talking about this is because we've encountered this a lot, which is not right.
This is the definition. Read the letter.
Okay. Oh God. You know what? I also just really want to say before I dive into this, certain things are capitalized that shouldn't be, and I hate when people do that. Like, that isn't a proper noun, you know what I mean? Like, for emphasis, just underline it. Like,
the grammar is shit.
Yeah. And I will be reading it to reflect that. I just want you to remember I will always love you, and I know you will always love me. You are my boy. Nothing can make me stop loving you. Nothing will or could ever divide us. No matter what we do or where we go or what we say, we will always love each other. If you are in jail, I will bake a cake with a file in it. If you need to dispose of a body, I will show up with a shovel and garbage bags. If you fly to the moon, I will be watching the skies for your reentry. If you say you hate my guts, I'll get new guts. Remember that love is a verb, not a noun. It's not a thing. It's not words. It is actions. Watch people's actions to know if they love you, not their words. Therefore, I am certain that neither death nor life, nor angels, nor the ruling spirits, nor things present, nor things to come, nor powers from above, nor powers from below, nothing in the entire created world can separate our love. Neither hostile powers, nor messengers of heaven, nor monarchs of earth. Nothing has the power to separate us. Romans 8:38, extended version. Nothing can separate us. Not hatred, not hunger, not homelessness, not threats, not even sin. Not the thinkable or unthinkable can get between us. Not time, not miles and miles and miles.
I'm sorry.
This
woman is free?
Mother to son.
Yeah, she wrote this to her kid.
Is she free? Is she walking around?
Yeah, she's walking around.
Why?
There's only ever been suspicions that they like
knew and helped him
post murder, but I don't think there's any evidence to.
And there's
such.
rumors that he's still alive too.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Oh, what? He's dead. They found his body with a gunshot wound to his head in a swamp.
I mean, I would believe that woman would like fake someone's death.
100%. That's what I'm saying.
She says so. Like, she says she would be an accomplice to his crimes. If you're in jail, I will bake a cake with a file in it. I will show up with a shovel and garbage bags.
So the other thing that really creeps me out about that, I mean, there's a lot that creeps me out about that.
The only thing.
But one of the things that creeps me out about that is like, if I were to put myself in her shoes, let's say Gillian is going on like a van road trip with his girlfriend that I clearly, obviously don't like.
Because you wish you were her.
Because I wish I was, I can't even say it. I know. And if I was to say like, okay, I'm going to write you a letter for your trip, right? It wouldn't be just from me to him. It would be like,
hey guys, have
also
a great
me
time.
and your dad.
Not her.
Your dad and I love you. Your dad and I, like, if you need anything from us, we're here to support you. Like, it's just really weird that she wrote it. It's almost like single mom. Like, you're not the only person that raised him. Like, why are you writing him this weird specific letter?
Because she's in love with him.
It is so icky in every single way. How is this not like evidence to do something?
Well, the
like
claim it, there's no, I don't think they've been able to prove when it was written.
I don't know that it should matter.
Yeah, right.
Because you just admitted to a potential plethora of crimes.
Talk about people who should feel like this is one of those things where it's like justice can't be brought by a court for her.
Bring back
but
shame.
we can shame her.
We are shaming her on this podcast now. What's her name?
We're doing our part. Her name is Roberta, I think.
Roberta. Fuck you, Roberta.
Yeah, fuck you, Roberta.
Sick freak. That is the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. Well, I'm depressed.
So that's the trash for the day.
Yeah, that is trash. Roberta's trash. Brian's trash. I don't know enough about the dad yet, but I'm pretty sure he's also trash.
I mean, whatever he is, he's just along for the ride at this point.
Yeah, enabling trash. So you are trash. Like,
Yeah,
you're silent and enabling trash.
But every time you hear about a mommy like this, the dad is never around. He is comatose.
Physically present.
Physically
but
present,
yeah.
mentally
Gone.
Right. Because, yeah, she has to find someone new to be in love with, and it's her son. On that note, I have some additional trash and treasure. Trash for some, treasure for some, but I think it's going to be bad news for you, Blaze.
Great. Keep it coming. I'm depressed already.
Yeah,
wow.
sorry.
Hot start.
Yeah, you can
Wow.
chase this with this bad news. Apparently, Starbucks is removing some items from its menu, and I have a list of them, and I think the list is going to make you sad.
If you say cookie crumble frappuccino, I'm yeeting myself out this window.
The first one I have on the list is
No.
the chocolate cookie crumble creme frappuccino. But you get the one with coffee, right?
The mocha one? Yeah.
Okay, so
This is the cream one.
yeah, this is the one without coffee. So I think the one with coffee will still be there, but not the non-coffee version, not the cookie milkshake.
But like, if they're taking away that, you just add like an espresso shot. It's no different. Are they taking away the whole thing? Like all the ingredients? The cookie crumbles?
I don't know.
This is the worst day of my life.
Okay, so I had read online that like this new leadership is basically like we want to make it more like a coffee shop again.
Do you have their names and locations? Addresses?
I can find them.
I got my shame bell ready. This is the worst thing ever.
Yeah, the next few are not going to make you happy either.
Great.
The double chocolatey chip creme frappuccino.
Sounds
See,
great.
this is more upsetting for me, I think, because like these
You
are all
don't
the
drink
cream. I don't
coffee.
drink coffee.
Oh, dude, caramel ribbon crunch creme frappuccino.
Oh no.
White chocolate mocha frappuccino.
Oh.
What? That was my second favorite.
I've never had that. It sounds
gonna kill
honestly.
myself.
I had a white mocha the other day for the first time since I was like 12. Wow, was it good?
Yeah.
Wow, it was amazing.
So are they just getting rid of frappuccinos?
Vanilla frappuccino is the last one.
They hate joy.
They probably just don't want to deal with blenders anymore.
Well, no, because
Why are people so lazy?
other frappuccinos are still on the menu. Like these are just like the non-coffee ones that they're taking off, I think.
What about the strawberry one?
The kid milkshakes. I don't know. This is the
That's
list.
a classic.
There were a few more that I didn't include because like I knew you guys didn't like care about them, but these ones were like the heavy hitters that I thought were worth sharing.
This feels like a personal attack. And I don't know why I'm being attacked like this.
I'm really sorry. I think that you have a few more days until this happens. I don't think it happens until March.
Oh, great. The worst month of the year.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be even worse.
I'm
I
so
don't know.
sorry.
January's pretty tough.
Shut the fuck up. It's my birthday month. There will be no January slander on this podcast.
No, and I find it hard with like, we had like a beautiful January and February, like all that snow. And now it's like, I'm glad that we have more sunlight, but also everything
You like
is
this
gray.
wet mud?
No, I
Beautiful.
don't. I'm with you.
My
Blaze.
yard is so gross.
I do love Maverick's birthday is in March. I love that for him. March Madness, I think, is fun. It's a way to get through March.
Oh, we'll be talking about that later.
Oh boy, yeah. Do we have an interesting bracket coming forth? But yeah, I just had to share the trash/treasure news.
Well, thank you for ruining my day.
I'm sorry.
I have some trash or treasure. So we've been watching the Dexter prequel. I don't know if you guys ever watched
yeah.
Dexter.
Mm-mm.
So Jeff got me into Dexter actually weirdly before our wedding because there's just like a million seasons and I was doing a lot of crafts, so I needed like something to watch. I was like doing invitation. I'm like, this feels like a really weird show to be doing this too.
Like wedding stuff.
Yeah. And I'm
I
like,
can't wait to say my vows. Someone's getting like cut open.
but in the spirit of murder.
Wait. Rapid rundown.
Oh, yeah. 1 minute. Hold on. I'll set the timer.
I'm not going to be good at this.
All right. You ready? Dexter, summarize the show. Your time starts now.
Okay. So basically, Dexter is he's essentially a serial killer, but he only murders other serial killers who have fallen through the cracks of the Miami PD, where he works as a blood spatter specialist. And he gets the job because his dad worked there as like a detective or something, and, you know, kind of found out early on that he was going to be a murderer. Like, he craved death, and there is a reason for that, but I won't spoil it for people who haven't seen it. Okay. So basically, you know, he kills all the killers that fall through the cracks, and it gets kind of funny because he works at the police station, and he's, you know, covering his own tracks, and like also, you know, getting that craving of murder, and it's just like really funny, and it's a really good show, and there's a gazillion episodes. I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
She's counting down.
I'm literally counting 5,
She's
4, 3,
always
2, 1.
miming, and I never know what she means.
I was not miming at all. I gave you 30 seconds. No, I'm not doing this anymore. I fucking gave you 30 seconds. I gave you 15 seconds. And then I counted down from 5. Literally with my hands. There's not anything else that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 means. So, like, I'm done. You guys can keep time now.
Oopsie, we've pissed her off.
You sure have.
She's mad.
She is mad.
I'm so sorry.
Don't say it if you don't mean it. I'm not interested.
So when you were now, are you watching the new version of Dexter now?
Yes. So my point is, we've been watching the prequel where it's like Dexter growing up and how he like turned into this serial killer and how he's been able to like live both lives. And it's really cool. It's called Original Sin, I think.
Do you like it better than the original? I feel like it's hard to do a prequel and make it good.
No. I mean, well, but I will say, because sometimes they can be hit or miss prequels, but the actor that plays him is
Dead on.
so good. Dead on. Mannerisms, voice, like everything is dead on. And same with like the other characters. I don't know how they cast these people, but I was like, did they CGI them younger? Like they have to be the same person.
Oh, it's a new guy.
Yeah. It's a new person.
Well, I don't know how much of a prequel it was, if it was like a childhood or if it was like a few years before.
He's like 20 in the prequel, and he's like in his like 40s. Like
he's got to be like older than in real life from when it was on. Okay,
It's Michael C. Hall, right?
Yeah, but he narrates the prequel show too. So
Oh,
you still
cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
and all the little mannerisms from the original show are like in
So
this.
they like
it's cool.
did the work to
They
make
did the
this
work.
successful, yeah. Which I think like is always noted and always like I think you can tell that, and it sounds like they did it right.
Yeah, because Jeff has watched it probably like 3 times through, maybe 4. Like he loves the show, and he notices all the little things that they've kept consistent, and it's just like it's really good. They did a good job.
I feel like Dexter got like a lot of bad feedback towards the like last season or
People
so.
say it's like the worst series finale of like all time. I've heard.
Worse than Game of Thrones?
I don't know. I haven't seen Dexter, so I can't say. But I remember people saying that. Like I remember that being a thing.
I didn't mind it. Everything just like gets really messy at the end, like of course, but I think it was fine.
Maverick and I watched Game of Thrones, which it was good, but like I do feel like the wheels really fell off near the end.
They just rushed it. That was the problem. Is they tried to shove like I mean they spent like 8 seasons doing something and then like 1 season doing 8 seasons worth of stuff. It was just kind of silly. Like it just didn't feel like the right pace. It's like the Hobbit movies. Like that's, you know, it's one book.
I haven't seen the Hobbit movies. I don't want to.
I tried to watch it because of Lee Pace, but it was so boring.
That's what I've heard. And I'm like, I don't need this. Like, I like Lord of the Rings, and Maverick puts it on all the time, so I've seen it a lot. I'm good. Like, I'm good on the prequels, the sequels, the show. Like, I don't need any of it. Give me the OGs. I learn something new every time I watch it. I know, Blaze, you do too.
It's like a new movie every
Yeah,
time.
there's so much new that happens. I learn
whole
something new
thing.
every single time. There's always something that surprises me. When we saw it in theaters, surprises left and right.
It's like this. I've never seen this before.
At one point, like the one wizard gets like put on
The
a
one
spike in
wizard.
the water, and then like the
I
water
can't with
wheel is
you.
like rotating. I was like, this is crazy. This has never happened before.
Never seen that.
Nope, a mystery, a new surprise.
For anybody that doesn't know, there are certain movies where I have watched, and Kate and I have both watched many, many times.
Vibes
and
only.
We cannot remember a single fucking thing that happens in those movies. Lord of the Rings is one of that series.
It's so funny too because like I consider myself to be someone with a good memory. And, you know, there's like, I pay attention to movies that I like. Like, I have, like, there's so much attention to detail. I can't. It's a vibes only movie. And, like, I can tell you the general plot. But, like, the other day, like, Maverick ordered online, this, like, shirt came that he'd ordered. That's something else. It was, like, some sort of forest. It was meant to look like a national park shirt, but the forest was, like, one of the forests in Lord of the Rings. I was like, I didn't know that forest had a name. You learn something new every day. Like, okay, cool. And then there's just like always new things to be learned.
Recently, I watched it specifically to remember. I'm like, I'm focusing. I'm going to remember what the fuck happens in this movie. Not a clue.
There's honestly no need to even do that because it is on every day at our house. So like if you want to just come over and just like vibes only, because like if I knew what was going on, it would bore me. But when I just like turn my brain off and let the vibes carry me,
it won't stick. It will not stick. No. But when I watch Game of Thrones, I could recite every episode. Every single episode of that show I could recite.
Other shows, same thing. Like other movies, like I could tell you everything about Harry Potter. Every single thing.
That's another one that doesn't stick for me.
Yeah, that one does not stick for me. I couldn't tell you anything about Harry Potter.
Oh my God, I could tell you like every single thing about
not
that
after
series.
The first movie.
Wait, was it a Fangorn Forest shirt?
Yeah.
Okay.
See?
Dweeb.
Did you know that that was... No, me neither. I was like, what forest is that? And he was like, it's the... he gave me, you know, he was all like indignant about it. And he was like, oh, it's the forest lord. I was like, oh, didn't know that forest had a name.
Okay.
I know everything has a name, but I just don't know them, and I never will.
Calm down. Brianna's getting angry. We can't have everyone angry today.
I'm just trying to stay on pace with the podcast.
Well, this is the topic. Treasure. Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings is treasure.
Indeed.
And will forever be treasure. And like it is probably one of my number one comfort.
Trash is nerds who bully me and Blaze about not knowing Elvish. Sorry.
Yeah, the look on her face when we said we didn't remember the movie, it was like we were the dumbest fools that ever lived.
Because you guys have watched it so many times.
I'm sorry. It's a joy. Every time.
Ugh,
and like again, I learned something new. The extended cuts, that's the one we saw in theaters. That's why we hadn't seen so much of it.
Yeah, I was like, Brianna, I have never seen this in my life. And you're like, oh, that was a new scene. I'm like, well, that makes sense.
And you know what?
It's all vibes. And no memory.
Absolutely. Just let it carry you away. Let the score and the horses in New Zealand and the Hot King just do their thing.
I did try. I really did.
I just don't, because I can just ask Maverick. He'll tell me. He knows.
I will say, I can't be mad at you guys because you do enjoy Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I genuinely like the
movies and enjoy the movies and like respect the like
the lore,
the like gem that they are cinematically.
They're so special. Like, and I mean that so seriously. Anyway,
I don't have any. My trash and treasure was the boy mom stuff, so we can move into, and we did a rapid rundown, so we'll move into.
Is it time for the poem?
It's time for the poem.
All right, so we have another poem for everyone tonight from our beautiful Bella Angel. This poem is titled, To My Love. For you, I would turn back time, to fall in love with you over and over again. You are my everything. You make my throat sing. I don't think that's the word.
Heart?
You. It's heart.
That's the title of the episode. You make my throat sing.
You make my throat sing.
I just want everyone to know this is illegible, okay?
It's written in like 40-year-old pencil.
Also, these are just song lyrics. The first one was Share, You Make My Heart Sing from Wow, dang.
Okay. You make my heart sing. You're my one and only love. It's like you were sent from above. You make me complete, from my head to my feet. You make me feel so safe when I feel out of place. You're always on my mind when I have to leave you behind. Why are you so perfect? Why are you always so kind? Listen to me when I say, I want to be with you every moment of every day. I want you to always be mine. I love you more than you'll ever know. I want to show it to you. I want it to show. It doesn't rhyme. I love you more than you'll ever know. I want it to show. Just let the whole world know. I love you with all of my heart. I hope we will never part. Love, Bella.
Wow. Her first one was much stronger.
That was very difficult.
It was whack. What? I have issues with the stanzas, the timing. It's just, come on.
As our resident writer, give us your critique.
1, plagiarism. 2, a lack of consistency, which like wouldn't matter except like it starts off with like consistency and like matching syllables.
The cadence was fucked. I had the hardest time.
Yeah, it was all over the place.
As a professional performer, that was difficult.
It really also did sound like something Bella would write to Edward.
That's fair. If she's going for authenticity in the Twilight universe, she nailed that. Like, I'll give her that.
You make my throat sing.
It was illegible. I had to make a choice, and it was the wrong choice.
No, you did the best you could with what you had. I think you did a really good job, honestly.
I think you are the only person that should be reading poems on this podcast.
I agree. I didn't really write poems myself. Like, my archives won't really have poetry.
Send us your poems.
Yeah, send it. Did you write poems as a youth? Send them to us. Please remember when we found that guy on Instagram who wrote that poetry who was like the worst?
What?
Yeah, and every photo had like a stupid cigarette in it. What was it? It was something to do with cigarettes.
He had like a cigarette or like a rose petal. Like, he really was.
He's in his feelings.
It's like the days of Tumblr. It was very moody. People loved it.
People did. Yeah, he had a huge following and we just like mocked him relentlessly.
Did you know this person?
No.
Or this was just like some random guy?
It's like a popular Instagram account. And we're like,
yeah, we really.
They didn't rhyme. They weren't even poems.
But it like some poems can like be beautiful and not rhyme. This was not beautiful and didn't rhyme. Like, there was no redeeming qualities. It would be like, my heart is an ashtray, and you, the burning cigarette, jammed into it, left, forgotten, but lips once touched. Like, that's like what it was. Like,
That was actually wow.
No, come on, don't.
That
even
was better than mine.
That wasn't better than anything.
But that was the vibe.
That was like what he would write, though. You know what I mean? It was like that type of shit.
Was it like very like breakup-y too?
It was like, I yearn for this woman, but it's like, I just know this type of man. I know this is the type of man that just like treated women like shit, and then would like write these poems, be like, she'll never know how much I yearn for her. And it's like,
sad
you
boy
gaslit her
energy.
for months. Like,
On that note, maybe it's a great time for us to introduce a segment that will be coming on to the podcast for the next couple weeks.
Yes, everyone, it's March. Guess what time it is?
it's happening. Our friend, we'll call her Serena. Our friend Serena suggested this, and we're making it happen. So shout out to you, girl.
Okay, so we're going to be introducing a new segment, March Madness Battle of the Exes. And we have selected 16 former lovers.
Even though some of us have more exes than others.
Okay.
Yeah, some of our lists are longer than others.
Sorry, we keep things interesting.
I have an equal amount. So we have selected 16 ex-lovers, and we will be bracketing them on certain criteria that we have identified. And we will be having a segment to finally get to what we are calling the shit 16. The egregious 8, and the foul 4. And we will determine who is the worst of the worst. So
they'll face each other in true March Madness style. Like, this is set up like a March Madness bracket.
and if you want to follow along, you will have all the resources to do so.
That's true. You can chime in. It won't affect the score, but like, you can certainly weigh in. And these are pseudonyms. Like, we are not using real names.
Yeah, for any exes that may be listening, we're not going to out you. We're just going to talk about
You're awful,
your
though.
personalities.
Not all
and-
of you.
No.
Some of you are good, but y'all won't make it very far.
I don't think the bad ones are listening now.
I would be shocked.
So check out our social media to identify the players of the game,
The teams.
the teams, and I'll now jump into the criteria that we'll be ranking them on.
Yeah.
So first is, are they objectively attractive? Now, of course, we all have different taste in lovers, but
I hate that word so much.
There's some overlap.
lovers.
Ew.
We will be rating their objective attractiveness. We'll be rating their life skills and planning skills. Like, do they know what they want to do with their life? Did they know what they wanted to do with their life? Did they have any sort of thought or care about their future? Are they independent? Meaning, are they living in a family's basement? Are they reliant on mommy and daddy to take care of them? Are they smart? Would you expect this person to be able to understand basic concepts? And then on the other side of intelligence, we have emotional intelligence. Was this person able to talk about feelings or even acknowledge that feelings are a thing?
That's where they're going to score the lowest, I think.
Yeah. Habits and hobbies is our next category. So did they do things that were weird? And what weird things did they do? their general behavior and attitude towards women.
Oh, this one's gonna be tough.
Buckle up.
Yeah, for them.
And I guess any sort of protected class.
Yeah.
Important.
Yeah. What's their astrological sign? If we know what it is.
We'll find out. We can find out. You can find out.
Oh, fine. If anyone can find out.
Yeah. Come on.
Give me like 3 days and I'll have their social security number.
Yeah, exactly.
And then last but not least is style. Could they dress themselves or did they require support?
Support.
And if they eat, like, and I think there is something to be said, sometimes the support you can give can only do so much.
Yeah, you can only take things so far.
Right. I'm not your mother.
No, even though they wanted that sometimes. Some of them did want that. Didn't find it with me. That's for goddamn
Those
sure.
will be the categories we'll be utilizing to determine the losers, really. We'll be ranking this like golf. Lowest score wins.
Yeah, so it will be a march. Like, they will face each other and we'll be tallying.
So how we'll be determining the winner is you will get you, if you're listening. The individuals in the bracket will be, so for example, if they are objectively attracted, they'll get a point. If they can talk about their feelings, they'll get a point. And so at that point, the lowest, so whoever has the lowest amount of tallies or points to their name will move on to the next step. So it's like golf. Whoever scores the lowest, quote unquote, wins. All right, so that'll be our segment coming up. So at our next episode, we'll have the
slow reveal of the
shit 16.
shit 16. That's right.
and we'll be plugging in some clarifying adjectives into the AI. Brianna will be doing that.
We'll be producing some fake imagery. The imagery will be created by AI, and it will not reflect what the individuals looked like. It will just reflect the adjectives that we as a group have provided.
Yeah. So this is what, like, if their outsides match their insides,
Yes.
which I'm going to argue a few of them do, but like if they were just created based on personality.
Based on our feelings about their
Based
personality.
on our thoughts about their personalities, what they would look like. And I'm really excited to see those.
Oh, I think it's going to be a blast. I'm going to have Dale help too.
Oh, Dale will be really helpful in
Yes.
this, really valuable. Our referee, Dale.
Our referee, Dale. Maybe that'll be Dale's introduction.
We can bring in our in-house medical counsel. We can bring in our
Referee, Woman of the Year.
Woman of the Year / commissioner, March Madness commissioner.
Although I feel like Maverick would probably be the person that's most equipped to build a bracket. I feel like Jeff and Dale are not like big sports or like are not March Madness people.
Oh, that's Maverick's more of a football guy. He's not really into basketball
I
like
thought
that.
he was into like March
No.
Madness.
No, which drives me nuts.
So you're the most qualified, really.
Yeah, I am. And
Basketball is just so boring.
stop it.
It's so squeaky.
They go back and forth.
Squeaky.
The score's the same the entire time, except for the end.
It's fast paced and it's exciting.
boring.
Shut up.
And
Anyway.
they fall and they're like, oh my god, my knee, it's broken. And then we're like, shut up,
No,
you
that's
pussy.
soccer. Soccer is where the drama queens are.
No, the drama queens are in basketball too.
No,
Yes,
no,
they
I will
are.
not stand for this. And I'm
Yes, they
not
are.
judging. I love soccer. Like,
Soccer is hard. Basketball, you're just tall
this
and it
is
hurt
so
a little
stupid.
more
I'm
because
not
you're
dealing
tall.
with this. No, I'm not dealing with this. You're yelling at me about time. You're yelling at me about a sport that none of us have fucking
Wow.
played. I'm not into this.
Poor Kate.
I'm not doing this.
Oh my god.
Well, Feral Trash Night is one thing we can all agree on because we are watching the Gabby Petito documentary.
Oof.
More depressing garbage. Woo.
The worst of the boy moms.
She is proving our point left and right.
You know what? Our poem from last episode, I could see her writing that to her child.
Oh, 100%.
She would go to hell for Brian.
She's going to hell for Brian.
Yeah, because he's already there, bitch.
Yeah. She's going to go meet her special boy.
And you are not getting a +1, lady.
No.
Ooh.
Those gates are locked and you're not getting a +1, nor can you enter.
You know who locked those gates? Gabby.
Yeah, hell yeah.
She's standing right there.
Heaven, yeah.
Turn around, bitch. No room for you.
Your special boy's not here and you can't be either.
That's right.
No, you know what you did.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, if we could spend all night talking about serial killer
And their mommies.
serial killers and their mommies, but we've got a show to watch and food to eat.
If
so.
any serial killers are listening, only kill fellow serial
Yourself.
killers.
What? Oh, sorry.
Be a Dexter.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Take
sure.
out the bad.
Yourself. What? Oh my gosh. Wow.
No,
sorry.
Dexter, it wasn't his fault.
No, I understand the
I
concept.
can't tell you why he became that way. It's a major part of the plot, but it wasn't his fault. And he had a craving and he had to fulfill it somehow.
Was it because of mommy?
Can't tell you that.
That doesn't sound like a no. I haven't seen it. People who are
Can't
watching
tell you
Dexter
that.
are like, shut up, dummy. But I won't. I'll never shut up. That's why we have this podcast.
Kate's having big feelings today.
I am having some big feelings today. Hoi, hoi, hoi.
What's wrong with you?
Unclear. I could.
Do you
be
need to be
PMSing.
mothered?
Ew.
No, my issues aren't related to family. They're all internal. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, you can have your big feelings. You know what'll help your big feelings? Some food.
Yeah, what are we eating?
You said Chipotle, and I know you said no to McDonald's.
I didn't say
I want a
anything.
salad, but I know that's not a popular
Every
opinion.
week we do this.
We do this every
That's why I
fucking
didn't say
week.
it. That's why I
She's
didn't
sensitive
say it.
today. We might have to have a salad.
You know what, sweetie? Do you want a salad?
I do want a salad.
Okay.
I want a big salad.
Okay, what kind of salad do you want?
A lettuce one.
Okay.
If it's not made with lettuce, it's not a fucking salad.
Yeah, true. Like, there's some weird foul taco shit that I see some of you do, and don't think I'm not judging because I am.
Okay, so if we did Chipotle, you'd be okay with that because you could get
Yeah.
a lettuce salad. Do you want to order from the Chipotle we're not near?
That we don't live near, and we cannot walk. It's pretty warm out. Just saying.
Shut
I'm
up.
not walking anywhere right now.
You know what? No, it's okay. We might walk.
You know, maybe she needs a walk.
Okay.
I only went for a little walk today. I worked out, but I didn't get a lot of.
Is that what? Do you need a walk?
I need to be
sweetie?
walked.
You need a walk and a salad.
I didn't get enough outside time.
Does Kiki need a walk?
Kiki needs a walk. Sick. Okay, wait. I need to let the listeners know. Kiki is what Gillian calls me. It's not just like some gross thing I made up for myself, or a special nickname Blaze made up for me.
No, it's Auntie Blaze and Kiki.
All right, we gotta go.
Hoi, hoi, hoi.
Let's wrap it up, ladies.
Yeah. Okay, we gotta go get our Chipotle.
It's time to
Do you want me
eat.
to- Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sabotaging.
Get your hand off that mic. You're both doing it.
I'm not doing anything. I'm innocent here.
Oh my god. She's so sensitive.
Look, I'm going through it tonight. Leave me alone. Let me be.
Okay, let's wrap it up. That's our show. You can find us at Something for All FTN on Instagram and Something for All Pod at Gmail and TikTok. And you should follow us. Out to get feral. See you next week.
It's fabulous.